Good afternoon, and welcome to a very special sunset safari where we will be celebrating Women's Day with a lovely herd of elephants, as well we should. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamie Patterson, and I will be your special surprise once-off host. Now, do not adjust your sets. This is not a repeat. I am back to celebrate International Women's Day with the wonderful Tessa and, of course, Kelly on Pridelands. If you don't believe that this is live, then you can send through your questions on hashtag WildEarth on Twitter or on the Wild Earth app. Now, I'm back. I'm looking at elephants. Could anything be any better? Guys, it is such a pleasure to be back in your midst once again. For those of you who don't know me, I last did a game drive for Wild Earth in November 2019. So it has been over 2 years. And it's even more special because I actually have Craig on camera with me this afternoon. And I last did a game drive with Craig, I think it was in the middle of 2019. So this is a very, very special afternoon for us. And of course, we must celebrate the occasion. It seems appropriate that we do so with a herd of elephants and what I assume to be one of the older females there. She's got the most amazing tusks, this girl. So it is blazing hot here in the Sabi Sands in South Africa. I don't know what the temperature is, but I imagine it's somewhere somewhere in the mid-30s. So the elephants are just chilling out in the shade, which of course is exactly what I think we all wish we were doing. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a nice shady patch for Craig and myself, but c'est la vie. I only get to be in the sun every now and again. Oh, it's wonderful to be back. Very surreal. Very, very strange. It really is a pleasure to be back, though. I actually have flown in. I flew in yesterday, and I will be flying out again tomorrow. I am bunking lectures, folks. For those of you that don't know, I am currently in my third year at the vet school in South Africa at Onderstepoort. So I am currently playing hooky to be here. Isn't that exciting? There's going to be a lot of work to catch up, but that we can think about later. See how the elephant is flapping her ears. You all know this. You're all familiar with the process. Obviously a way of cooling themselves down. So when they get hot, their brains detect the increase in temperature. And there's a whole load of physiological effects that go into it. But essentially what they do is they open up all of those arterioles that lead into the capillary beds of the ears. And then as they flap them, they're losing heat by convection. So it's essentially like blowing on your hot cup of coffee, and then that spreads round to the rest of their bodies. Hello, ladies. Oh, I can't tell you how much I miss elephants. It took, I don't think I ever took it for being out here for granted, but being away from it has really sort of hammered home just how special it is to be out here with these creatures. And it was about 1.5 years I spent without seeing an elephant. It nearly broke my heart. I'm hoping that these ladies might decide to go and have a drink. We're right next to Gallagher Pan. Desired Women's Day narrative, we've actually got a pair of young bulls. They've obviously waited for the rest of the herd to come and drink, and then they've followed along behind them. So you can see he's had a lovely water bath. While we were sitting squinting at some elephants under the trees, they've all been enjoying themselves in the pan, which I think is actually pretty par for the course. We used to have an old joke back when I was here permanently. We used to talk about Cole's Law and the animals' complete disregard for our live timings. And I did check the pan before I went to the elephants that we opened the show with. But apparently this lot had other plans. Here we go. Now we've got a big cow coming down to drink over there, and her youngster following along behind. Of course, it is highly appropriate on Women's Day to talk about the matriarchal arrangement of elephants. These older cows are very, very important within the breeding herds and within elephant populations as a whole. I don't think we've even begun to tap into the nuances that are the true the interactions and the behavioral dynamics of elephant herds. I've seen some things that have left me with more questions than there are answers. But we do know that they are fiercely intelligent. We know that they communicate with a range of different body language cues, vocal cues. There's all kinds of things happening. Some of them, of course, are below the frequency of human hearing. Oh, you're a little bit too old, mister. Elephant calves, of course, can suckle up to around about 5 years. Oh, she's having such a nice splash. Cooling off. I think he's taking advantage of his mom's distraction. But they usually suckle up to around about 3, at which point the chances are their mom is pregnant once again or has a new baby, and she then weans her youngster. And often with highly vocal expressions of distress, they throw the most astonishing temper tantrums. There we go. I don't think he got much out of that. Oh, I was tempted to go and join her. Looks rather lovely. Hey, big girl. Oh, you are beautiful. James Richard, I know. I'm also hoping I can find Fang's herd. As you know, Fang is a very special place in many of our hearts. I would love to see her. I know she was on around the dam yesterday, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if she's hanging out. I have decided to go into this afternoon with 0 expectations because I find that that's the best way to go about something like this, especially as I'm only here for the afternoon. Oh! Ooh, yourself. There you go. Little bit of a tantrum. But look, I have some secret hopes and dreams, as I'm sure you can understand. I know Tundi was around yesterday. It is sort of inevitable that I would rush in and rush out and just miss her, but she is my favorite leopard, and I would really like to see her. Obviously, Tlalamba and cubs, you know, just throwing that out there to the universe. And perhaps a quick trip to the hyena den. Does that come as a surprise to anyone? I don't imagine it does. They'd better be there. They seriously had better be there, because I